Good day, everybody. This is Chris with the Ancient Scholar. I hope this video finds you all doing well. So here it is, a beautiful Friday morning. I'm at work doing office hours, and we've had a couple of days of nice rain. Some nice fall rain has moved into the desert southwest. Won't last very long, and we'll be on a general drying trend as we transition out of late summer monsoon season into fall proper. Things will dry out, and then we'll move on into cooler weather in winter. Now, I'm entirely looking forward to the cooler weather. We've had a very warm summer, although we've had a really good monsoon season. So the reason that I've made this video is I want to ask my viewers for a little bit of help, a little bit of assistance. So I'm considering instituting a major life change, quote unquote, so to speak. And that change revolves around something that pretty much everybody in contemporary Western societies use every day, and that is cellular phones, smartphones specifically. And let's see here, not quite 10 years, because I think the iPhone came out, in 07, 08, somewhere around there. It's about 10 years old, right? Yeah. The iPhone 10, so the 10th anniversary edition. So it's been 10 years, and I have been using an iPhone for about 7 of those 10 years. And so the only device that I have any experience with is the iPhone. And over the last year or two, I've really found myself fascinated by the concept or the thought of perhaps moving to a different ecosystem. And honestly, the biggest fear that I've had with making the move is the fact that the Android ecosystem seems to be entirely different and doesn't have the cross-platform fidelity that I seem to have with the Apple operating systems, both for their laptops or their portable devices, the iPhones, and to some extent the iPod Touches, although I don't use those. So that's my biggest stumbling block, if you will, is if I do make the Android switch, how difficult is it going to be for me to transition into the Android ecosystem? And because every bit of music that I have is on my iPhone, my computer, through iTunes, and that is a huge part of what I do when I work out, when I do all my bike riding. I'm listening to music. Music is a big part of it. Podcasts, really important to me as well. I listen to a lot of podcasting. I commute almost 2 hours a day, total commute time to and from work. So I listen to a lot of podcasting, and I'm not entirely sure of the fidelity between iTunes. I know there's some other podcasting services such as Stitcher and that. And I'm not entirely sure if the podcasts that I listen to are available on other platforms, other podcasting platforms. I assume that they would be, because most of them are reasonably popular, reasonably contemporary podcasts. And then just the surrounding ecosystem, calendars, text messages, contacts, and notes, etc. From what I gather, the research that I've done, it looks like if I were to institute this move, it looks like the contact and calendar issue would be pretty easy. I could copy my contacts, and then I could load my contacts in through calendars through my Google account, and I do have a Google account. Photos as well doesn't seem to be a huge issue for me. I can switch over to Google Drive, and in fact I do have some photos on Google Drive, so that doesn't seem to be a particularly concerning issue. See, contacts, calendars, notes, but notes, there may be some issues there, I'm not sure. Some of my applications might be problematic. I don't do a whole lot of mobile gaming, so I'm not entirely concerned about getting my games, and because I just don't really play games on my phone, and it looks like the core social media apps, the Facebook, the YouTube, Twitter, which I'm not really socially engaged through media. I do have Facebook and a Twitter, but it's mainly just oh look, I did a mountain bike ride, I mapped it on Strava or mapped my run, something like that. So that's not really important, but it looks like those types of apps I can easily download through the Google or Android store, so that shouldn't be a problem. So what it really comes down to is the music, and I've been online and I've looked, and it looks like I can. There are some things that I can do as far as transferring my music into the Google Play, is that I believe. But the videos that I've seen seem to suggest that it would be through a kind of a streaming-like service, a streaming model. And that could be a significant problem for me. I spend a lot of my time, like I said, a lot of my time commuting to and from work, where I live in a fairly rural community, and so when I commute, there are places that don't have really decent cellular service, don't have decent data, so I would not be able to stream music in those instances. And more importantly, when I do my mountain bike riding, either after work or on the weekends, I tend to ride in very isolated areas up in the mountains, in the Gila National Forest, up in the Lincoln National Forest, where you just don't have cellular service, let alone any consistent data. And so to access my music through a streaming type of service would not be a good option. And as it is, I don't stream music. I have an iTunes account, but I don't use the Apple Music. I have all of my music, my entire library is downloaded on my iPhone, or it's on my iPhone and natively, and I can listen to those songs without having to stream. The same with my podcasts. I don't stream. I download them as they come out. When I have wireless, because I do have a Wi-Fi connection home and at work. But when I'm moving around and doing my day-to-day stuff, I spend a lot of my time in areas that I don't have consistent data. So my concern is, will I be able to transfer my music from iTunes into Google Play and then put that music onto whatever device I end up going with, download that music, get it onto my device, and then listen to it natively without having to worry about streaming. That really is a significant limitation for me, and I'm just kind of throwing that question out to you guys and see if you have any information or any tips or hints, or even just links or pointing me in the right direction. I am waiting for next week, where the Google Pixel and Pixel XL2 will be announced, and if I like what I see, I am seriously considering making the transition to the Pixel, and for a variety of reasons. I've gotten used to the Apple ecosystem. I'd love to do something a little different, have a different experience, maybe have a little more flexibility in the customizability, and frankly, and this is just my anecdote, this is just my opinion, it seems as though Apple has stagnated somewhat, and they've gotten a little stale. They haven't really had significant design changes. Their iOS hasn't changed drastically, significantly, and maybe that's the same for the Android OS as well, but it's a completely different platform, and it would be a completely new and novel experience for me. And frankly, just the iPhone itself has become somewhat stagnant. I understand that the iPhone 10 has a completely different design, and they have display technology and whatnot, that display technology, wireless charging, which some of the other iPhones now have, So this technology is making it into the iPhones, but this is technology it's been around in other devices for a while, so it doesn't really seem revolutionary. Um, and so I'm really looking at other options, and frankly, I don't want to pay $1,200 to have access to options and opportunities that I could get through another device that is a little cheaper. It doesn't look like the Pixel is going to be particularly cheap. It's going to be a little cheaper than the iPhone 10 for sure, and they offer payment plans, and it looks like there may even be an iPhone, so I can turn in my iPhone and get some money for that. So I'm really considering the Pixel. But if you guys have other suggestions, I know the Galaxy, was it the Galaxy 8, 8 Plus, and the Note 8, I believe, that series of devices seems to be really popular. But I'm really curious to see the Pixel. I think because the Pixel kind of has this stock Android experience, and so I'd really be experiencing the Android operating system without a whole lot of skin stuff on top of it, which would probably resonate with my iOS sensibilities, where I'm used to a native operating system. And so that's really what I'm considering. But definitely, I'd appreciate your guys' comments or any conversation about this. And I really am really interested in making this change, but I need to make sure that the change is doable, it's workable, it's not going to be a complete headache, and it'll have enough fidelity that my audio playlists, my music, my podcasts, those kinds of things can have a seamless transfer into the Android ecosystem. So those are my primary concerns. So if you guys like this video, please comment. I really love your suggestions. It's just funny, I've made so many life changes over the last few years. It sounds kind of funny, but maybe getting a new cell phone and getting involved in a new operational ecosystem, it might just be part of the bigger life changes as I'm transitioning through middle age. I don't know, but anyway, I'm really excited about the potential opportunity of transitioning to something completely different. And again, I have no experience with any other operating systems other than iOS for about 7, maybe even 8 years. So this is going to be a markedly different, potentially markedly different experience for me. So there you guys go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video that has no educational content or value whatsoever. So there you go. All right. As always, thanks for hanging in there, and we'll see you guys in the next video.